fixed, and I figured, you know what the heck? Why not live stream it? Because I'm not 100% that we will be able. Orientation is locked. Well, screw you, YouTube. Whose idea was that? Okay, give me 1 second. Got a freaking stream in portrait mode. A bunch of freaking savages. We're just doing it this way for now. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, so here's our problem. This guy here, this is my Corsair cooling radiator thing. The problem I'm having is this fan was making some awful noises, and then it stopped. Now that I've taken it apart and I've free-spun the fan, the noise has stopped. It spins fine. So I'm pretty sure a bearing is going bad. I wanted to take it out and replace it anyway, just in case. Gosh, the lighting in here is awful. Sorry, it's what I've got. I've run into a problem. These fans use a proprietary connector that starts at this hub and then runs through the case, fan to fan. It daisies off. I do not have another fan that can do that. What I have here is an Arctic P14 PWM PST. I got like 5 or 6 of them on Newegg for like $50. But they're big. They move a crap load of air. They're really loud, but they do the job. I don't mind the noise so much. I have my headphones on usually if I'm playing a game. So since we can't stream yet the game properly, we had somebody show up and disappear. Hello, goodbye. Instead of me doing this alone in silence and irritated, you can join with me. We can suffer together. So I've already pulled off the top of this case. I pulled off the face. I have undone the screws that hold the radiator up at the top. But like I was saying, I mentioned in my little short before posting, this guy can't get out without this guy coming out. So I need to actually put this back so I can remove the optical drive safely. My SATA and the power removed. This is of course shut down, cables removed, I'm grounded, all that jazz. Not that you guys need disclaimers, but I need to put that on first. Let's carefully turn this guy. Grab one of these here screws. Oh, hello! Got a lot of people in here. Wow. Welcome in. This is me trying to fix my computer. If you don't know what Stalker is, and you just clicked on the title, Stalker is a video game by the Ukrainian developer GSC. And I like to stream Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl when it's cold like this. I get all dressed up in my kit. I've got most of it removed right now because I'm having to do computer maintenance. Wow, there's a lot of people in here. Welcome in. But I can't stream the game that I want to stream right now because my radiator fan just conked out and died. So I'm trying to disassemble it to see if I can repair it. And we'll go from here. I've never streamed live on this at all. I've never done this by my phone. I don't know how to view comments. I don't even know if that's possible. So if you can comment, send a comment and we'll see how this goes. Yep, we had 30 people, now we're down to 6. Well, for those of you who are loyal and sticking around, I appreciate it. I figured since I have to do this repair anyway, might as well drag you guys along with me and we can suffer together. Oh, there we go. If somehow you don't know who I am or what my channel is, I am the Fat Vegetarian. I like to do gameplay videos and make little goofy, I think sync edits is what a friend of mine called them. I don't normally do stuff like this, but if you want to see hands-on repair work or having me make something, like I said, I'm 3D printing something. That's what all that awful noise in the background is. I can show you when it's done. It should be, let me see. No, it's still got some time left. So if you want to see more stuff like this, I'm down to do it. I just need feedback. Look at that, I lost 4 people when I was talking. So I need to remove the disk drive. That's next. Actually, I need to pull it back off of my case. There are no screws in the back of my case. Where did I put them? I took them off at some point. I see some screws there. I've committed the cardinal sin of not keeping track of my. Oh, there's the other screws. Okay. So I've already removed the screws off the back. The back of the case just pops off. We're down to 2. Welcome in, loyalists. If I get this up and working tonight, we will stream Stalker 2. We will play the game properly. I just have to make sure my computer is not going to catch fire or something stupid like that. Okay, there is a fan controller here on the back, but I don't actually know what those go to. Okay, so one's a hub, one's not. And these are tied to... What are these wires tied to? I don't remember. Just tugging on one of them right now to see what happens. It loops back in on itself. I have no idea. I have no clue what this module's for. But anyhow, that's not what you guys care about. I don't think anybody cares about this but me. Hey, wow, welcome in. Hey, what game we're going to play? Well, the plan is to play Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. The problem is my computer fans just died. So, not the fans totally, but one of my radiator fans died. Got to keep that CPU cool or we will have a meltdown and that will be very sad. So, I am taking this apart right now to get the radiator out of the case. Is it on Roblox? No, it is not. So, I'm going to get the radiator out of the case, hook everything back up, and test it to see if this works. Welcome in. Hello. Going to hook this back up, make sure everything works, and listen to the fan. The problem is I can't replace my radiator fan with this here. So, I might be able to. I can attach it and I can hook it up to one of the fan leads on here. I've got a couple fan leads open, but I want to be able to make sure that that it actually works first. Otherwise, I'll have to replace one, and we won't be able to stream tonight. So. Let's see here. I know this is super thrilling content here, but I just wanted to share this with my Discord server and anybody who was going to hop in to watch the game stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Look at my channel. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think I'm at 140 something. 147, I believe. Been doing this for a very long time. Oh, heck. That screw has been lost to the void. I have no clue where that went. Oh, there it is. I see it. Aha! Aha! There we go. 140. There we go. Cool. Yeah, number goes up and down sometimes. Alright, so now that the disk drive is free, we can pull that out of the way. And that will allow us to access, hopefully, pull the radiator down out of the case once I remove those screws I put back in. Oof, I just dropped that. Like I said, normally I play games. You can see a lot of my videos, obviously, on my YouTube channel. Proper. Play mostly first-person shooters, but I do some platformers and point-and-click games and other things as well. I just play what I find interesting. So, if people don't want to watch, they don't have to watch, but I'm going to keep making content that I enjoy, and hopefully other people will like it too. Alright, we got that freed. Be careful here not to bang up the radiator. Alright, now that that's free, I should be able to just something is still connected. There we go. Now, there we go. Alrighty. So here we have my Corsair radiator. I don't remember which model this is specifically. I think it's the H140, something like that. The problem is this fan right here was sounding awful. But now, it sounds That sounds just fine. So what we're going to do, something you're not supposed to do, I'm going to stand the radiator like this, hook everything back up the way it needs to be, and we'll try and turn it on and see what happens. Back down to only 2 people watching. Welcome in. Come and go as you please. Like I said, I'm not looking to get famous with any of this. I just want to share stuff with friends, and since I can't stream the game I want to stream right now, we're doing this instead. Not even going to acknowledge that. Okay. Let's hook up the power cable again. Carefully. All right. Got to extend these leads out here so that I can actually run the cooler. So we got to have one cable that goes to the fans proper, and that's the problem. Let's see if I can show this to you guys here. Since you're here, you're my prisoners. You have to watch. There is this port right here, and that is what ties fan to fan. That's what comes from the radiator cooler from the USB hub, and that's what controls everything. And that is missing right now. Or not missing. It's not plugged in. I'm working on plugging that in right now. And I do not have another fan that I can hook up using this connector. So if this fan is dead, then we are just out of luck. And it sucks to be us, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Let me carefully pull more of this out. I've got plenty of slack, but I don't want anything to have any pressure on it if possible. There we go. So now what the radiator is going to do, if you don't know anything about computers, the CPU back here, you probably can't see it, let me readjust. CPU is underneath this shroud. It gets really freaking hot. This acts like a car radiator, and it's going to pump coolant over the chip into the radiator where it's going to be blown by these fans, and the heat's going to leave the system, theoretically. If the fans are not working, the CPU will overheat and the computer will shut down. That's a very bad problem, especially with the economy right now being as it is, and with the PC gaming market being what it is. So, we are going to power on, and nothing happens. I'm going to turn the power switch on and power on. Alright, we've got lights and fans and noises. Again, apologies for all the background sound. I have a 3D printer running right now. If it finishes in time, I'll show you. Probably won't. I think it's got another, I don't know, half hour. Pretty lights. Yay, lights are fun. So now that we're moving again, we're going to listen. And I hear nothing. The case is running just fine. Not yet. So, going to log in here. Everything is fine. I can already feel the heat coming off of the radiator, getting picked up from the CPU back here and brought in with these little tubes. Lots of little sounds and clicks and beeps that comes from some of the onboard speakers, and some of the other components have little speakers in them as well. All right. There's that heat coming off again. Now it's really hard to tell with the 3D printer in the background, but I can't safely pause that print and have it not completely collapse on me. But as of right this instant, the problem that we were having, the fans making noise and clicking and thunking, it's not happening anymore. Let me get my headset out of the way here. All right. No, I can't hear it. It is angry. Sounds like a helicopter. That is a bad bearing. Okay, so there are a couple different options that we have here. What I am going to try is I am going to temporarily swap my bad fan with the good fan, scoot it over, and attach the new replacement fan, if it will fit. I think it should, right there. And we will hook this end up to the, not that end, that's the daisy. Hook this end up to the motherboard under the CPU fan, and it should still continue to run. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to make some BIOS edits, and that's going to be tricky. So, we will see. I do have other fans in here that are just running, so I can hook it up to those and just have it go, but it's not going to be moving at the same speed. It's not going to be moving the same amount of air. So we will need to be careful with that. Yeah, that sucks. Okay. So I'm going to turn off my computer. Once I'm done putting this all back together, I will order a new fan. It's gonna be expensive, which sucks, but okay. Things are shutting down. I'm gonna flip off the power switch in the back here. Now that it is off, I'm going to hold down the power button. That will discharge the capacitors and help drain any residual current that's still remaining on the board. And we'll pull the power cable carefully. I'm going to punch my speaker when I do this. There we go. Thanks, Corsair. I love having proprietary cables for all of my equipment. Anyway, we're going to remove this lead that goes back to the CPU hub. Well, yeah, it's a CPU hub. And I now need to remove the screws from the bottom fan so I can take it off, scoot the bottom fan up, and take the top fan off to replace with this guy temporarily until I can get the proper fans and proper configuration going. Welcome in. We've got some more people here. Hello. If you are new to this particular stream, oh, that's magnetic. That's extremely magnetic. Okay, let's move those away from that. My name is The Fat Vegetarian. I normally stream games and gameplay. Right now, my computer has decided to kill itself, or attempts to kill itself, attempted suicide. So we are going to try and replace the faulty component and see if I can get back up and running to do my stream on time. I don't think I will, but we're going to try. If you want to see Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, stick around. I will hopefully be playing that here shortly, as shortly as I can. It's a very fun game. I get all dressed up. I'm already mostly dressed up. I took some of the kit off that's bigger and bulkier because I got to be able to maneuver around a PC case. But, okay. So now... darn. Dang it, let go of my screws. We have removed the fan cluster from the radiator. This is a neat idea. I understand why they do it. Corsair, very cool, but also not very cool. Proprietary plugs. That's dumb. So, all right. Now I have to remember which one is the bad fan. I don't remember. Okay, they were like this. I'm looking right now at the dust. I should have marked these before I took them apart, huh? Ah, okay. There you go. So if you ever run into something like this and you're testing a bearing, you can do I call it a rocking test. I'm not sure what the proper term is. But if you push on either side of the center axis and you just apply gentle pressure, it should kind of feel like it's flexing but not touching anything. This one here, there's a definite tuk 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 tuk. Bad. So we're going to pull this guy apart. We're going to take our bad fan. I'm going to leave that plug in there so that I remember it's bad. I'm going to put it way out of the way over there. I'm going to leave our good fan here. Also take the little extension out of it, so there's not room for it where we're going. Again, it's a cool idea, and I really like Corsair, but I don't like proprietary connectors. I understand that they do your lighting, they do your power, they do all that jazz, but yeah, it doesn't need to be this way, guys. Okay, so we are going to mount the good fan closest to the back of the case. That's where this little lead can reach. Oops. Poke our screw through and just gently finger tighten that in. And get a little more proper threading here. I am also going to only put in 2 screws. You don't need 4. 4 helps. The more screws you've got, the tighter the connection to the radiator is going to be, the better resistance you're going to have against vibration, against noise. Like I said, right now, I just want this to work. Fan orientation and fan direction is very important. I already immediately got it wrong on here, so I need to take this guy back off. The direction that air is flowing through your case is important, believe it or not. I did a test myself, and I changed the fan directions to be pulling every fan pointing out, every fan pointing in, pointing back to front, and front to back. A lot of cases have a back-to-front configuration, and the way that they are designed allows that airflow to work properly. This case does not do that well. This case and the components I have in it definitely need a front-to-back airflow. So, all right, we're going to swap that guy around to face the correct orientation here. It's a bummer that we are not playing Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl right now. That's what I was wanting to do. That's what I psyched myself up to do today. That's what I told all my friends I was going to do. So I'm really hoping that I can follow through on that. I think we're near the end of the game, so if you'd like to see the climax of the game, let me know. Please stick around. Like I said, if I can get this operational, we'll just go right into the stream, and we'll transition off of that camera to the in-game video. Okay. There is our feed from the hub. Now I need to attach the fan. I need to make sure that it's facing the same direction. You can usually tell the what you call it, the back of the fan, the direction the air is going, generally has the framework that holds the center motor on that side. Usually this is what you think of as the back. This is the front where air is going in. This is the back where air is coming out. It's not always going to be that way, but 9 times out of 10, that's the way your fans are going to be built. The fan is going to have a lead that sticks out of one corner. You want to make sure that that's going in a direction that makes sense. I don't want my fan cable sitting on this side of my case where I've got to then route it all the way back and across, and it's going to touch a bunch of things and be in the way. No. You want that fan cable tucked in the back, right close to where it's going to go through the back of your case to where the cable cluster is going to be. It looks very nice, looks very clean, things stay out of the way. You don't have cables or things touching the fans or getting in between the blades. This fan here died really quickly, this guy. I'm very not happy with that. I will be reaching out to Corsair to see if they can actually just send me a replacement fan, because I bought this maybe a month, 2 months ago. So that should not have died that quickly. Now, the problem with it is that I ordered the fan through Newegg from another seller, and Corsair may choose not to honor that. But I'm going to try. Alright, so as this radiator is going to go back into my case, it's going to turn around this side facing the front, like so. So I want my fan cable for my other fan that's going to be a stand-in for now to be sitting like this. That way the cable leads from the center of the radiator and it's going to poke through one of these holes and go down and tie onto a spot, an appropriate spot on the board. And like the other fan, I'm going to lose my grip here. I am just going to tie it with, I'm going to attach it with 2 screws, just temporarily. And actually, now I think about it, I can attach the Corsair fan with 4 screws because that one won't be going anywhere. This guy will, the Corsair fan will not. Why are we not lining up? Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Definitely only able to use 2 screws here, if any. There we go. Corsair, in their infinite wisdom, has made their screw holes a different spacing than a standard 140mm fan. In layman's terms, I cannot properly attach this fan because Corsair has decided I don't get to. So we are hopefully not cross-threading these as they go in. They're going in nice, they're going in okay, but they're going in at a little bit of an angle, which I'm not a fan of, not happy about. But it's going in. And I do not have a... Okay, that one does line up. Alright. I can get 3 out of 4 screws on this guy. Like I said, I'd rather just stick to 2, but I want this to be stable and as close to the radiator as I can safely have it. There we go. It is going to rattle some, and that's unfortunate, but that's just the way that this is going to have to work. I'm going to remove my optical drive again so I have space. I know for a fact that this fan works. This is a good replacement fan here. So I am comfortable setting the radiator back into its place. I'm going to just gently rest it on that heatsink there while I get up. Lift it into place and hold it so I can finger tighten some of these screws. We are catching on something. I can at least get a couple screws in here to start to hold this up. And I can go investigate what that problem is. Had 30-something people in here at one point. Now we're down to just single digits again. It's gotta be bots. I'm not an e-girl or a child, so they probably all left. They're no longer interested. Nothing they can exploit here. Okay. There we go. Alright, those fans are complete and repaired. Replaced, I should say. And now I can take the main fan lead that powers the hub and stick that guy right in there where he lives. Need to move these a little bit because they are going to be touching the rear fan as it runs, which we do not want. That would be very bad. There you go. Oops. And they're still touching. So I need to rearrange my cables here up at the top. Pull this shorter guy out and put the longer one in first. No, shorter one in first, but further back. There we go. There is a method to the madness. I do really enjoy PC building, and the cable management aspect of things is a lot of fun. I'm sure not for the viewer, but again, I don't normally stream this. There we go. Get that guy tucked up and out of the way. Now these are clear now of that fan. You can do a touch test, but it's usually easier to just let it spin free. pull that fan lead in the back here, but then we'll lift it right back again. So we can tie it to the CPU fan. Well, actually, we've got a case fan, well, no, CPU fan. All right. Right there. And you know, I think I definitely am going to need to just go into BIOS and tell my computer to just run the CPU fan at max all the time, because I don't know how it's going to like the way I've got this configured. Scoot that guy back into place where it goes. Looks good. And I do not want to have any overheating issues. This cooler works wonderfully. It's probably the best cooler I've ever had, and I've had some really, really good coolers. My only gripe with it is that it doesn't have a screen on it. I miss being able to have Doom Guy dancing on my CPU cooler, but alas, such is life. Carefully. The lid here is held on with a cluster of cables. It's your front panel I/O. Do not want to stress them. They are very fragile. I don't know why I was British there for a second. Fragile. All right, there we go. Some of my USBs don't work, and I'm not 100% sure why. But that's an issue for future me. All right. We're now good to go. I'm going to set these other screws aside. What are these? These go to the front panel. Okie dokie. So now we start reassembling the computer. Oh. Just yeeted another screw again. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this took 30 minutes. Now, I've been stopping to talk in the meantime, but still. This is why computer repair and computer work and stuff, it always takes longer than you anticipate. It's always going to be more of your day than you allot for it. These screws are completely stripped. That's awesome. Some of this case, this is very cheap. Okay, cheap is the bad word. It's an inexpensive case, but there are some pretty baffling decisions that are made, such as having holes for the screws, but not doing the threading for the screws in the hole. You are supposed to just run the screw into this bare sheet metal and hope for the best. And it works, it grabs, it holds, but it strips the heck out of your screws. So I think if I'm going to get a different case in the future, it will not be whatever brand this is. It's not even branded, it's not even named. But I needed a large, inexpensive case at the time, and this is the case that I got. I'm OCD, so all my components need to have all of the screws in, if possible. If I can fit them, they go in. Generally, a configuration like that, diagonally opposite each other, is perfectly competent, perfectly fine. But I like to have all my screws in. And then I hate myself later if I have to do any sort of maintenance because I have to now take all the screws out. But, oh well. Well, of all the people that are shuffling through here, does anyone know, have used, or at least remember Minidisc? Minidisc, for those of you who don't know, was an alternative to cassette tapes and CDs back in the day. They were they were pretty big in Japan, really big in Japan, I should say, and bigger in Europe, the UK. I had a friend from the Middle East who said that they had Minidisc out there, which I thought was pretty cool. Go right about there. Actually, hold on, let me see. Does this have a standard fan? No, it doesn't. Okay. Darn. Just checking the Corsair hub to see if it had a standard fan plug on it. It doesn't look like it does. I take all my other screws here and set them aside. I'll get a Ziploc for those and they'll live in that for a bit. 4 more people. Woohoo! Welcome in. Alright, I believe that with that we are now back and operational. I'm going to hook up my SATA power and SATA to the disk drive now that we've replaced our fan. It's not going to look as nice, it doesn't light up, doesn't do anything fancy, but it fans really darn well, so that's all I ask it to do, and that's all it needs to do. Plug in power, switch on power, press the power button, Shazam! We have power. I'm going to try and get into BIOS here. Just spam this F2 key aggressively. Alright, looks like I'm in. Yeah, there we go. You don't get to see this, but that's okay. So CPU fan, okay, cool. So the CPU fan is running. It is aware that it is connected. So I don't have to tell it to do anything else. It's content the way it is. We're good to go. I've not made any changes. Yep, that's fine, I know. Let's go through it. While it's doing its thing, I'm going to gently lift it back into its spot here on my desk. I'm going to leave the side panels off, which is a nightmare for dust, but it's going to help keep it cool. Having a directed flow of air. Sorry, something rattled. I wanted to hear what it was. Having a directed flow of air is always going to be best. You're making a wind tunnel, and it's going to take that heat and just get rid of it, you know? So I will put the front panel back on. And maybe this side, the back side, I'm okay with leaving open for right now. I am going to have to get back into here to do all this all over again and set it up properly. So we'll go ahead and put this panel back on for now. And I will attach the bare minimum required of screws, which is, whoops. That was supposed to happen, I just didn't expect it. It wasn't a whoops, something broke. It was a whoops, I surprised myself. Bare minimum, in my case, is 1 cased screw. And now it won't go anywhere, because I'm not going to be pulling on it. Rehook up my charging cables and whatnot here. This guy, I actually don't need that hooked up right now, so I can go over here. Move my box of PC parts back to where it goes for now. Oh, dang it. See, that's exactly what I was afraid of. I have a 3D print going, and it's kind of starting to cup. It's laying flat and it's coming up on itself. I don't know how to get it to stop doing that. I experimented with some different temperature options. I'm using a super tack cool plate. Yeah, none of that seems to have mattered. All of my flat prints are doing that now, so I'm going to probably switch back to the other plate, which didn't do that. Doesn't hold as well, doesn't hold as nice, but I didn't experience that severe cuppage that I'm getting with this guy. I asked about mini disc because I have a Sony MX something, I don't remember the model number, that I wanted to have a carrying case for. Where is it? It's in here. There we go. It's actually labeled a mini disc Walkman, which is pretty cool. Yes, the MZE40. It's a very, very cheap model. Feels like nothing. Takes 2 AA's. And I want to be able to carry it in my pocket and stuff. And it's not a bad size. It's about the size of a smartphone, a little bit thicker. It's a little fragile, this one. It's not very good. As far as the build quality is, this was kind of towards the end. This is a cheaper consumer model, but it works. I bought it broken, and I got it fixed. I fixed it myself. So, sorry, I was just checking the fans there. So I want to be able to use it. I've got mini discs. I want to walk around and play it. I need to be able to have my headphones plugged in, and I need to be able to access the buttons. Having it jammed into a pocket, again, works. I can put it in my back pocket, I can put it in my front pocket, I can put it in the coat pocket. But really what works best for me is actually a hip holster type deal. So made a very, very rough version of this with this as close to the same contours as I could get. Purposely oversized it by I think like 0.5%, and I made a little holster for it to slot down into, and hopefully it'll fit nicely. The printer is putting the final touches on it right now. I think it still has another 20 minutes or so, unfortunately. So I will, if you stick around for the Stalker stream, I'll show it to you there. Let's see, I just lost somebody again. Viewer retention is ridiculously difficult with live streams. It's difficult with videos as well, but people want something interesting to be happening all the time. Otherwise, they just don't pay attention. They just leave. So, which I get. I do the same thing, but it's tricky to figure out how to do that properly and appropriately without just being, exploitative and whatnot. You were gone for 30 minutes. That's cool. Alrighty. I'm going to get the main proper stream set up here. The other fan is humming away just nicely. So, I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to get the Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl stream configured here in a second. That printer is so loud. I purposely, it's a prototype, this model that I'm making. So it's going to be, not perfect, and I'll probably just have to scrap it. But I did my best to make it properly and put a lot of work into it. But I made the materials be thinner so that it wouldn't take as long to print, use less filament and such. This is an extra fan that my wife lets me borrow sometimes. I don't need it, so it's going to be out of frame for now. And we're going to go ahead. I'm not going to engage with children on this app. I'm sorry. So, yeah, we are backing up and operational. If you have never done anything computer related, that's a very simple fix that you can do. It's just tedious. So, I'm going to get back into the full kit so that I can play Stalker 2 properly. If you're sticking around, I'll go ahead and walk you through the process here. I'm going to have to turn that stream off, configure the camera for the stream, and fix my lighting and everything. But I have my coat, of course, and my gloves, which I'll put on last. I have my cigarette case. And that's pretty much it as far as the jacket goes. I have my knife, I have my holster, a little pouch for collecting things in. This guy, I've got 2 canteens for water or what have you. My med kit, it's an authentic, actual Russian infantry med kit like you see in game. A lot of my kit is Vietnam era surplus, which is just a restriction due to where I live and where I was at in life at the time I was putting this kit together. I was on unemployment and very sick, so any money I was getting in I was trying to put towards feeling comfortable before I died. Thanks to a very dedicated medical team and my family, I survived, and I'm here today so I can continue making really goofy YouTube videos and wasting time cosplaying, and I cannot thank them enough for that. I have in here my old set of gloves, my backup set from the new ones I've got, another canteen, you can never carry enough water, a first aid kit in here as well. This has got gauze, sutures, band-aids, bandages, gauze, 2 types of gauze, one sticky, one's not, that's why I mentioned it twice, a grenade. These 3 mag pouches actually contain a notebook and a flashlight, my tape recorder so I can make little logs and audio logs so that whoever finds my body can see what happened to me and my flask, because what's a stalker without vodka, right? These 2 pouches, I've got some apothecary glass bottles, as well as a rain poncho. And I wear all this on this belt backwards for ease of access. My kit is not meant to be, one, it's based on an actual character in the game, one of the NPCs, and then also who I ended up building my character as in Stalker Anomaly, so it's accurate to my outfit there. But it's not supposed to be a match grade, spec ops. I'm not going to be running a bunch of obstacle courses in these and doing well. I have, and it worked really well anyway. But again, my character is not supposed to be the character I built in Anomaly, not who we're playing in Heart of Chernobyl here shortly. My character in Anomaly, though, I was a scientist, I was a scavenger, I would go hunting, didn't carry much ammo on me. I have a grenade ready quick. I don't have it on right now, but I actually do have a rifle cartridge box that clips onto the back of my belt there for my Car 98 AZ that I like to run. I don't have spare pistol magazines, I don't have any of that, but everything on here is supposed to have a purpose. This pouch here has my dosimeter in it. It's an actual real functional radiation detector. I've got a dosimeter pen here. That's something, it's like a backup. And last but not least, what is a good Stalker cosplay without a GP5 gas mask? Kit's awkward to get put on, but once it's on, it's actually pretty comfortable. Some of the straps can be a little tight sometimes, especially as I put on some weight over the years. Like I said, I was anorexic and dying when I built this, so I had to size things up quite a bit once I actually didn't die. I hand sewed the elbow, shoulder, and knee patches. The Stalker insignia patches I had made for me, embroidered from a fantastic Etsy shop out of Ukraine, actually. So that was pretty cool. Getting this tied takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it because you do not want your filter bag bouncing. So now that it's together, we can remove the latch there, move my hose, and get out my mask. So,
I don't generally hook up the filter when I'm doing it because the filter
has asbestos in it, which is really bad for you if you're going to be breathing that for any period of time. I have some more modern. Ooh, need to clean that mask again. It smells like sweat and breath. Whew, yeah. Haven't worn it properly for a while. But I have the original filter that it came with. It's got asbestos and fiberglass and stuff in it. You do not want to be breathing that. I did once. I wore it for a couple hours, probably 6 hours, and I got very, very sick. I don't think I have asbestos poisoning. I sure freaking hope not. But I got very, very ill and I almost died. I was also in a very unclean area. There was a lot of mold and such going around, so that also probably had something to do with it. But yeah, there we go. Oh, hold on. I'm not complete yet. I'm not putting the gas mask back on again. It smells. It's my own fault. It's my own smelly air and sweat that I'm putting into it, but it smells. There we go. All ready. Cheeky breaky. It's a prompt. Here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready for the Stalker 2 stream. So if you want to see the game, check back on the channel in, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, and we'll be up and running. If you hopped in for the PC repair session, I appreciate it. Thank you. Like I said, I could have done this by myself in silence and been very bored. So he helps to make this 45 minutes, almost an hour, pretty enjoyable. Gotta get my mood lighting back here. Where is the peg? There it is. I've decided instead of having the bright, destructive beams of the sun shining into my face, this other lamp that I have, which is a lot more pleasant, is going to be better for me. So, tune in about 5 minutes and we will be playing Stalker, Shadow of the Zone. Sorry, Shadow of the Zone is the Wendigoon film. Heart of Chernobyl.